Alright, so Kenny is making a bracket that I cut out in the plasma for the hood, so we're test fitting the hood now. Fitz is getting the firewall all cut up so we can test fit that and see where else we need to cut up. And I'm trying to shorten up the rub rails so we can get those back on. So it's just a lot of test fitting and a lot of cutting, so find out.
Do you want to let people know that you're still Chase? I mean, because like you cut off like your flow, man. I'm not sure like who like this guy is.
I know, everybody said I needed to cut my hair. Well, there you go, cut my hair.
Is that what the difference is?
That went right. That it barely.
Woo! Safety first.
Okay, good.
Pretty good glue. Okay.
So since we moved the wheel wells back, we now have to cut the rub rails down. The 16 or 14 inches, we moved it back. So that's what I'm working on now, is just kind of trying to get these end caps to fit on these rub rails better than they did at the factory. So making it better than it was.
Trying to get this hood on here right. Trying to get it down more and back more, trim it up, take it off. The usual. Nothing.
Oh, it's a fucking bumper bracket.
Over here too.
Bumper. Oh, off the frame.
Well, it's never gonna go this low, so we have to
Right.
try to raise it up a little.
I guess we can't raise it right now. Let's raise it right now.
All right, guys and gals, so basically, we're putting out as much information on the bus build as we can as we go. But some of you that are out there that know what it takes to build a car or a bus like this is going to realize that a lot of it is boring and monotonous and slow, and it takes time. So what we're doing here is compiling as much into the cameras and then putting it into a nice little tasty bit for you guys to watch on our YouTube channels and what have you. So what we've got going on right now is the buses are torn down, the body's mounted on the new chassis, and what we're really working hard on right now is retrofitting the brand new chassis firewall to the 1987 firewall so that we can use all of the original holes and buttons and what have you that came on the 2020 chassis. So this will be great for servicing the truck in the future. It'll still be under warranty at the local Chevy dealership, and it can be serviced anywhere that this truck goes in the world, so to speak. So it's tedious, and it's a lot of measuring, a lot of cutting, and a lot of little sparks of fire and greatness happening, but you don't want to watch 9 hours of that. So as we get going, it'll get faster and things will get going, but you wanted some bus video, here's where we're at. As a matter of fact, at the time of me making this crazy little voiceover, we're actually taking the truck to go get some spring work done, so stay tuned for that. Look at you staring at it just like I was last night after you guys left. And I'm thinking,
I stared at it last night too.
it ain't doing this like we want it to.
Yeah, so this is what we've came up with. If you come over to this old chassis.
Well, I know, but
you
I
can
thought we
see-
measured.
We did measure. Everything's, I'm gonna explain to you how everything's correct except for that.
Well,
So-
yeah, but where the wheel sits in the fender well is kind of what has to be correct.
Right, no, this is why it's not correct. So
Okay.
what we discovered is the hood and everything, the placement wise, the body, everything's perfect. The rear wheel is dead nuts in the middle of the wheel well.
Yeah, because we already
But
moved that.
If you look at this leaf spring, it sits farther forward. It sits 4 inches farther forward from the center than, and that one, the axle's sitting in the center of the leaf spring. So
What
it's
about
farther
the
back.
length? Are they the same?
So from with length
Front to
from
back of the springs.
So the springs are the same, but if you look here, this one doesn't have your normal shackle style leaf spring, and that one does.
Okay.
So we can't just swap the spring.
Okay, but you're telling me that front to back, we've got the same
Same length.
eye to eye
Yep.
on a 2021 as opposed to an 87.
Yep.
Okay, I
And
get
then-
that.
And then the only difference is they moved the axle location farther forward on the leaf spring to get that in the right spot.
Well, this was engineered to be that way, and so I would assume this one's engineered to be in the center.
Correct.
So if we move it forward,
But they were going off of the body that that was on the chassis. They
Yep.
went off the 5500.
if we go forward with just the front axle on the springs, is that going to give us a kind of a shitty ride? Because if they've got it on the flat center,
It shouldn't if we get the springs made for that. The springs would have to be made to be that location instead of farther back. And when they're made that way, it won't mess with the camber caster.
oh, because they're going to have to make a new bottom spring.
Yeah, they're gonna have to make a whole new spring for both sides because those two are tied together in the same spot. And it's not like we can just move it forward because it splits after it's bolted down from the U-bolts. And we would, if we were able to do that, we run the risk of fracturing the spring with the old hole, which is no good.
It almost looks like the same piece of equipment.
It's not. We measured it 500 times. Because I thought the same thing too. I thought it looked exactly the same, but it's not.
The axle's not the same.
The axle's farther forward on the leaf spring.
Yeah, but is the axle the same? It almost looks like the same
It's almost the same I-beam axle, yeah.
So no technology advances there.
No. And the shocks are in pretty much the exact
Well, what if we
location.
used Champion Spring down there and had them make us an eye?
That, or we just give them both springs and tell them we want those to look like that.
But we need more flex.
Yeah, we don't need that much spring. That's a whole lot of spring. So we can just have them do a softer spring rate.
Jeez, man, those guys have been around forever and they're old and codgety. I don't know if they kind of just do what they want to do.
Well, they're the ones that know what they're doing.
But that means we've got to move the wheel wells in the back that we already moved.
No, wheel wells stay the same. All we're doing is relocating the front axle.
Okay, so we're not going to move the chassis. We like the chassis where it is.
Yeah,
We're
because
gonna
the
move
hood
it up.
fits, everything fits, it looks good. It just needs to come, the wheel needs to come farther forward because of that situation.
And then that wouldn't cause us to change anything but a drag link, right?
Drag link, that's it.
That's it. Do we have enough space on everything else?
All the hydraulics have, the brake lines have good space, the ABS sensors have good space. Plenty of slack in the line.
Well, then the question is, do we just keep going?
I say we keep going because everything fits. I mean, the hood fits. We have to put all of our structure back in it. And then
I think we
doing is
keep
go.
going until we have a driving truck.
right. And we
And
can always
then-
just drive it down to them and they could do the whole thing.
I think that's easier and better. So stick this piece of shit back outside. Man, that's chancing it. But I mean, there isn't anything that we're going to have to do as far as our fabrication to move that axle up, right?
No, that's all just new leaf springs. And then the I-beam gets bolted back up to the leaf springs and it's ready to drive home.
And you're sure we're not throwing off any geometry or any shit like that?
No, when they make the spring, they should be able to factor all that in.
And we'll keep our
camber caster all set up, and it won't ride like shit.
Yeah, because if you look at that one, it's almost flat. This one's cranked out.
Yeah.
So I get it. So you're literally going to make like that one and tell them, make them look the same on this.
Yes. I need this
And
spring
give
to
me-
look like that one.
And give me more spring.
Yeah, I need less spring rate because those springs don't move at all.
Less spring rate, but more spring.
Right.
All right. What are you standing around for, guys? Get to work. All right.
Do it.
Good. I want to be driving it by the end of the week.
That's the plan.
Is that really the plan?
What week?
That is the plan.
September?
No, that's the plan. Friday or Monday morning, hopefully.
Kick ass.
Hopefully. Now, no promises. None. So, you guys probably didn't understand a dang thing I was saying. So, what we've got going on is this is the 5500 chassis, and this is the old chassis. See how the axle is farther forward on the chassis than this one? Well, it's because of the springs have the axle location in different locations. So this is the 5500 spring, and it's centered, and the axle's underneath it. And the old chassis has, instead of being centered, it's got it up here, which is the 4 inches we're missing. And so our wheelbase and everything fits perfectly, except our wheel is not in the right location because they moved the location of the axle on the spring, or that's the way they designed it. So we're gonna get some new springs made, and that should solve our problem. But hopefully that was a little better. So it's Monday. We all know how Mondays are. Phipps is out there cleaning out a truck that's just loaded with stuff that came in on Friday. So he's throwing all that stuff in the dumpster, then he's got to hop on another truck that's leaking trans fluid all over the shop. I got Kenny working in the bus, getting the floor all dialed in, and then I'm helping a guy out there move the TRX around that's taking a photo shoot. So it's a busy Monday, but we still got a bus to build, so let's attack it.
Oh, look at that. You got it on the ground.
Yeah, it's on the ground.
So what's up now? We got to do some measuring, cutting, what?
No, so we did talk about the spring shop, so we're gonna have to go there.
Well, it's got to get lower.
Yeah, it's gotta get lower, in the rear. But we got quarter fenders mounted up, the cowl mounted up, the hood's working as it should. We gotta do a lot of adjustment there, but we got batteries in the battery box. So that's looking good. Just the way they were set up in the truck. We got the rear bumper on, we got the front bumper on.
Yeah, but that's going to need adjustment, and that one's tweaked.
Yep, so we're gonna look into bumpers, but as long as we have brackets, that's what the main goal.
The generator.
Yeah, we're waiting on the generator. We got lights wired up.
The lights work?
The lights work, even though we're not staying with them, at least they're wired up from the chassis so that they work off the switch.
Okay.
We got the dash and everything in.
What?
Yeah, dash, all the wiring.
And the glove box.
We got the seat, glove box is in.
Oh, because the glove box is so god dang important, right? Okay, so we still got to deal with these wheel wells and stuff, man.
Yeah, we're gonna clean all that up, but we're trying to get the majority of the fab work done because I may have to run off on another build and let them kind of clean it up, finish it up. But that's just there for now. But the
Look at
best
that
part,
dash.
the best part of this is
Get the fuck out of
it does
here.
run and it will move.
What do you mean it moves?
It'll move.
Like we can drive it?
Yeah, we can drive.
Get. Fuck. Y'all have only been on this like 12 days, 12
Yeah.
working days.
I know. We do have a lot of wiring to clean up, but
Well, there's a lot of crap to clean up, but
Yeah.
you're saying this can like go around the block and shit.
yeah, the only problem is only one person can go.
Why?
We only got one seat.
Well, can't we just stand like this?
Do whatever you
I can
want.
get some seats. What about that hole?
Just don't fall down the hole.
Don't stand near it.
Well, we're not gonna take all this shit with us, are we?
No, we can empty all that out.
Okay, get this shit out of here. I got some seats on the other side.
All right,
We're all going for a freaking ride. I want to know how this thing is. 12 days.
12
you guys
days.
are monsters. Phipps, get out of my way. I gotta get seats.
Okay.
Unbelievable what these guys did. So seriously, I'm really stoked on these guys. I mean, this is a team of two super young guys, 20 and 22, and Phipps. They brought in 2 driving buses, tore one down, tore the other one down, matched them together. It's completely mounted. Firewalls have been merged. Everything's in its original configuration from the brand new chassis, and it's running and driving, I guess supposedly. He said we could take it for a ride. I'm gonna do it because I got chairs. Come on with me. I'll show you, I got some chairs. How many chairs will you need? Now here's the question. Do I take the ones with the rollers or do I take the stationary ones?
I think the rollers.
Yeah, pretty sure we need to go with the rollers. That might be a little bit more fun. How do we need? Yeah, okay, cool. This is enough. Why do I have a feeling of like deja vu? I feel like I've been in a bus before with chairs with rollers on them. Not something one usually says all the time. I think we gotta go this way. Oh, just a little side note, my slingshot I bought a little while back, already sold it. $5,500. Get you some of that. I know what I'm looking at. This seems awful dangerous for me to be doing. Scratch one of my cars, I'll have to blame it on one of y'all. Oh, this ought to be interesting. Because there's like a 2-foot hole in the floor. I got chairs.
Man, those got wheels on those.
Well, I had some stationary ones that just had pegs, but I thought this might be more fun.
Oh, this is gonna be real interesting. Like that.
Might go
Just
about like that.
Yeah.
Here we
This
go,
will be
Fipstar.
fun.
Put these in.
Hey,
That could be a problem.
you're going to be driving, aren't you?
Look at that hole.
You going to be driving, Richard?
Huh?
The only reason why there's a hole in the floor is because the filler neck has to be put in first.
How many people are going? I'm too old to do this.
Oh, you're going.
I'm too old to do this shit.
Sit down and shut up. Going for the ride. You're the one that worked on it. If you're not willing to ride in it, then maybe you're not proud of your work. Maybe you're scared of it.
I ain't scared.
The chairs.
No, I put the seats you sit on at your office with the wheels on them. I put 4 of those in there. I'll be all right. Wish me luck. I love you. Can't believe that. That is really rad.
And the body's bolted down.
Turn some. Oh, I see lights. They don't all work, but they're on.
And they all have power.
All right. Hey, if I've never thought of a better time to say this, I'll say it now. Hold my beer and watch this.
It scared them so bad they're already. All right, here we go.
Look at that. Our horn sucks.
See how rough this.
Steering column.
Oh!
Steering column.
That ball.
Steering column. That's not good.
Did we just lose steering?
Yeah, I just lost steering. That's a quick fix though.
Do the shaft.
What the fuck, dude? Are we in park?
Yeah, we're in park.
That could have been real bad.
Well, the hazards work though, so let me turn those on.
No, wait a second. The problem, literally, you know what it is?
Yeah, I know exactly what it is. We forgot the bolt. Don't worry. We
You
get
forgot the bolt for steering?
it. We'll get it. Don't worry.
This is kind of important.
Brakes are more important.
Not really. We almost took out their fence and that telephone pole.
But we had brakes, so.
You just couldn't steer. Fucking idiots. That's what happens to me.
Back up. Down.
This is what happens to me. I give these guys a lot of credit, tell them how badass they're doing, we take off, we lose steering. I was just fixing to tell them to get on the freeway. Wait a second, how do we make sure? How do we make sure that doesn't happen again?
Working on that.
I need a bolt.
Do we have a nut for that?
Well, we need a nut for it. I mean, there's plenty of nuts here, that's for sure.
For sure.
If I didn't know we would break down, I'd have definitely brought my beer with me. This is bullshit.
We didn't break down. We just couldn't steer down.
I was kind of looking forward to being able to drink beer in a school bus. Like I've never done that. All the time. Here's my problem. These guys will get this fixed, but that way is about 3.5 blocks to the shop, but this way is about 1.5 blocks to the beer store. And then they can get it fixed and come get me. So I'm trying to decide which way I want to go.
Just wrap it around it.
Are y'all putting that shit together with duct tape?
Painter's tape.
What's that?
Painter's tape? Are we drive-by-wire?
Yeah, we'll be all right.
Is this drive-by-wire?
Yeah.
Well, then what came off?
Well, no, it's not electronic steering.
That's steering by
It's
wire.
got an actual steering.
Well, drive-by-wire is kind of what I thought meant steering by wire.
No, drive-by-wire is accelerated by wires. Okay, we'll go slow till we go straight.
Well, what are you going to try to do?
Go back to the shop, I hope.
Yeah, we're gonna go up here. We're gonna turn back around, go down.
I'll try just backing up all the way.
Yeah. I don't know a whole lot about steering, Phipps, but I do know this. You need it whether you're going frontwards or backwards.
For sure.
Where's my hat? Where's my hat? That's my hat. Gotta have my hat.
Hey, 'cause, I mean, we can go back to the shop and then do a round two.
I don't know if I trust y'all with this round two. I might be done with this for
I'm
today.
just pulling this shop here and asking for
A bolt.
No, we ain't doing that. Gas monkey don't ask for nothing.
bolt. Damn.
Well, we'll just spin around up here.
You know what?
Hey, just spinning around.
What do you got to lose? I mean, I got brakes.
Well, we couldn't steer while we were braking. So you're still moving while braking. So here's my biggest problem. I swear to God, I saw my last beer flash before my eyes. Just then. Thought it was all over. But we are running and driving, and we have a piece of painter's tape holding some type of steering thing together. Man, when I was in school and you had to put the little half window down, you never got this much wind. This is nice right here. See, back, and we're talking about back in the 70s. Like, this bus is an 87. This would have been
It's
badass.
still only half down. It honestly doesn't ride that bad.
Well, it shouldn't. It's brand fucking new.
Well, it rode like shit when we bought it.
Well, yeah, you got a point. This isn't too bad. I forgot about that part. Whoa!
Don't come this way.
There's a fucking hole, man.
Well, that's where I'm standing, man.
Look at this hole.
This is when it.
Don't say that when you're behind me. I'd say that I'm going to give this a medium success.
I think it was pretty
It
successful.
didn't die.
And we didn't
You know
die.
the brakes work.
And we didn't crash.
We have to call somebody for a jump box or anything like that.
Yeah, because we'd have cut it off, we'd have been screwed.
No, I would have been charged up by then. Wait, so we're not going again? You want to
I think it's kind of funny if we leave it there. Whoa! I think it's kind of funny if we leave it there. Test drive number 2 coming up next. Woo!
All right, kids.
Yeah.
School's
All
out.
right.
Hey, man.
Cole.
He doesn't know. He never drove or rode a school bus in his fucking life. He can't even work a lawnmower. He's a millennial.
Are you going to get the door?
Different motor yard.
What? I don't get any fucking doors.